viene viuda que me dijo la bruja Hermelinda. ¡Largo! ¡Largo de aquí! Viejita, ¿qué íbamos?
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Trash-Mex Podcast. We're on episode 2, season 2, and it's a strange summer this time. We're going to be talking about two very strange movies from Mexico. Ironically, both like based on comic books, and then they're both comedies, one being a horror comedy. So it's going to be pretty interesting to talk about these movies today.
Yeah, I think when you came up with the idea, because we talked about doing like something like a wild summer, and then you proposed these two movies. I was like, after I watched it, I was like, yeah, we definitely got to do these two movies because these are fucking crazy. Well, the second one is a little more crazy than the first.
The first movie is a little colorful and very visually awesome. Like just everything about it is awesome. I mean, we'll get to it, but yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, so I mean, we kind of took a little bit longer to do this episode, just the way our schedules worked out. I was on vacation for like a week and a half, and then it was 4th of July, and
it's still all worked out.
Yeah, it's still all worked out, but it was kind of when I was on vacation, I had told you this, but I just kind of wanted to say it because I think it was kind of a cool story. I was in Cleveland at a record shop, and I had my Trash-Mex shirt on. And the guy was kind of like looking at me the whole time. And I'm thinking like, oh, man, I hope he's not like a racist dude or something, you know? And I asked him to look at something on the wall. And then he kind of just stopped me. He was like, Trash-Mex. He's like the post-apocalyptic wrestling movies? I was like, yeah. And he's like, you know which one I'm talking about, right? I was like, well, I assume you're talking about Intrepidos Punks. And he's just like, yeah, that's the one. These guys like pile driving this fool. They look like punks. Yeah, that's us. Yeah, that's the homie Armando. And I had explaining what it is. He's like, yeah, I know. Yeah, that's fucking sick. Trash-Mex, hell yeah. So Trash-Mex is spreading wild, man.
Yeah, that word is just going around. Trash-Mex. It's just pretty cool, you know. I'm just like, oh, that's nice. Like I even see it like on Discord, and like you've seen it on like forums. People just use it as that term, not even aligning it with anything what I do, but just as the word. And I think that's pretty awesome.
Instead of mexploitation or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to like go on about it, but yeah, when people say mexploitation, like let's say Caguamas Ninjas mexploitation, that doesn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't think mexploitation fits like a whole wide range of movies like Trash-Mex does.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's more than just. Yeah, I'm not even gonna get into it, but yeah. But that's cool though. I mean, it's cool. Yeah, like I said, that was awesome to hear.
Yeah, it was cool.
Where was it at? Cleveland?
This was in Cleveland. Yeah. So
wow,
shout out
Ohio.
to my Mind's Eye Records. If you're ever in Cleveland, go out to my Mind's Eye Records.
Yeah.
Really cool. Shout out to Charles.
Awesome.
Doubt he's listening, but if he is, shout out to Charles.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's get into it, right? So we're in the midst of a strange summer, globally, you could say.
Yeah.
And we got two cool ones. So like Armando said, the first movie that we're talking about is called Hermelinda Linda, and that she's based off of a Mexican comic book from the 60s. And kind of a long history there. It was published by Trash-Mex Mexicana, that started in 1965, and it ran for 37 years.
That's a long time.
That's a really long time. Yeah. I mean, I'm not too big into comics, but I mean, I would think that almost a 40-year comic run is pretty out there. I don't know how many comics last that long unless if they're not Marvel or whatever, but.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it started in 1965, and it didn't officially change to Hermelinda Linda until 1968, because there was like a outroar from the Mexican government. I guess people were taking this comic too serious because it was originally titled something like Brujeria or Brujeria or something like that.
Yeah.
And I guess it ran for 3 years under that title, but people were calling in trying to learn how to make potions and how to do their own little witchcraft shit.
Mexican government paranoid at the time, so.
Yeah, I mean, you can guess why. I mean, 1968, was a very historic year for Mexico. They had like the whole student killing, disappearings, and we still don't know what happened to those people. This many years later, you can say, but so it had an official 1,266 issues of Hermelinda Linda.
Imagine collecting all that.
Crazy. I looked some of it up, and the art is amazing.
I like the art. It reminds me of like old school, like underground comic style.
Yeah. It definitely has like that Tales from the Crypt type illustrations.
It's like a horror comic. Yeah, it has horror imagery all over it.
And I guess it was originally like the covers were in color, but the actual comic itself was a black and white comic. Yeah. And it wasn't until much later that they became, color prints. And it later changed in the 70s to like, they call it like the photonovelas, right?
Yeah, I saw those when I was looking them up. I saw there was photonovelas. I was like, oh shit, I didn't even know they did those for Hermelinda. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, and I guess that would be like the inspiration to what the movie became.
I think that's what it is. Yeah.
So Hermelinda Linda ran for 37 years. It was created by a guy named Fausto Buendia, and it was illustrated by Jose Cabezas, and later by Joaquin Mejia and Pedro Nunez. Took over the reins for that. And I would love to get some of these original issues just to see how the art changed based off, because I guess the original illustrator was the illustrator for almost its entire run.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until later, probably right before they turned to the photonovelas, that it was a different illustrator. That I would assume that the art changed, but I don't know. Who knows? And the whole thing was based off of a fictional city, Bondojia, which I guess I later learned that it kind of represents a different colonia in Mexico City called Bondojito, which I guess is like one of the more dangerous colonias, or at least at that time was one of the more dangerous.
Okay, that I didn't know.
Yeah, I read a little bit into it because I after watching the movie, I was like, this movie, it was fucking sick, and you learn that it's about a comic book, and you're like, all right, well let me learn about the comic book. I'm not a comic person, but I know a lot of people are, so I kind of wanted to get a little bit of history on that, and reading that's when I learned that I don't know if that's official, but that's kind of what is assumed, just based off of the name change and how similar it is to the Bondojito neighborhood in Mexico City.
Awesome.
So yeah, let's get into it. The movie itself was made in 1984, so you're looking at like a 20-year gap between when this comic started and when the movie, is actualized. It's directed by Julio Aldama, who, some people would know Terror en los Barrios, but most people would know because he directed Chiqui Dráculas as well, which is like a staple.
Yeah, and then before directing movies, he was a big actor in the 50s and 60s and 70s. He was always an antagonist. Always a bad guy.
So he did he start as an actor?
That's how he started. Yeah, he was an actor, and then later on, like that's during the 60s and 70s is when he started making movies on his own, and then he brought in his family, his sons, 2 sons.
One of his sons is in this movie.
Julio Aguirre. Yeah, he goes under Julio Aguirre.
I wonder, he probably just didn't want to be known as a nepo baby or something.
Probably. That's kind of how they all are. Yeah, that's one of those things. It's like a lot of them are nippos. So.
Well, as we've been saying since basically episode 1, Mexican cinema is a very it's like family dynasties
family dynasties and friends
that run it,
and then betrayals. Yeah, it's dramatic in the outside of the camera, and in the screens. It's like it's so funny. That's what I love about it.
It's a family affair, man. It's. I was thinking about this because it makes tracking these movies a little easier because there's like a line there, but there's still not enough information out there in the public. Mm-hmm. So once you like start realizing, like, oh, okay, this person worked with them, they were cousins of this or the son of this.
That's literally how it all started for me. These 15 years, it's like, okay, this person's related. Like Adolfo, for example. Like I didn't even know his dad was Gilberto. I was like, oh, that makes fucking perfect sense now. And then that's when I looked, and I was like, oh, so his brother-in-law, blah blah blah. You know, everything just starts connecting. You know?
Yeah.
It's awesome. That's what I love about it.
And so hopefully you guys, the listeners, are starting to connect the dots, because there's a lot of dots to connect, and there's even some I'm about to say who produced this movie, and there's already a connection between Hermelinda Linda and Santo, which is kind of crazy. But
that was another one.
This movie was produced by Julio Adalma as well, and also co-produced by Fernando Oces, who basically got like the production, or Santo, to start being in movies. He produced the early Santo movies as well.
And he was a wrestler himself.
And he was a wrestler himself. So, there's so many and that was kind of by coincidence. I didn't really realize that until after I started reading it. I was like, oh shit, Fernando Oces was, so we didn't do it on purpose. We're back-to-back episodes. Fernando Oces
it's
was
just one of
part
those
of
things where it's like, they're all connected somehow. Because it's a small community, at least back then,
and
everybody knew each other then.
It's about to get even smaller, because guess who was the cinematographer for Hermelinda Linda, people? Alfredo Uribe, who was the cinematographer for Intrépidos Punks and Venganda de los Punks.
Those are the ones that he knew. Yeah, when I looked at his filmography, I was like, oh, wow. And then he did a lot of the Santo stuff in the 70s, too.
I'm telling you guys, get your notes out and start taking notes, because everything there's a correlation to everything in Mexican cinema, and so it stars Evita Munoz, who was known as Chachita. She was like a childhood actress. She's the main star in Hermelinda. She plays Hermelinda Linda. But she was a child actress, and in the golden age of Mexican cinema. She was
in Nosotros los Pobres, which is probably one of the most iconic Mexican movies ever made.
Yeah.
And then she was a child actress for a while, and then like when she got older, she got chubbier. She got more filled
as we all do.
Yeah. And then she just started like doing comedic roles, just like this loudmouth woman, dancing around or like singing sometimes, or like being like a flirt to like younger guys.
That's something that runs rampant in Mexico. There's a lot of weird flirtation with younger gals and guys.
Yeah, so that's kind of how she was known for later on in her life. But it was still good for her, She obviously had fun doing this, and then she got to play Hermelinda Linda, which is an honor, I think.
It's a very historic comic book. It's one of the most well-known comics of Mexico's comic book history.
I didn't even recognize her. Like the way they did her makeup and everything and the prosthetics, I actually didn't even notice it was Chachita at first.
Well, you look at the Hermelinda Linda herself. She's got like this, the typical witch nose, like long and pointed. She's got like warts on her nose and her cheeks and stuff. Yeah. She's got one lazy eye that's like looking to the left, the other one's looking straight. Yeah. Nappy hair, like she looks really gross. So you look at Chachita, like especially like through the ages where she started off young, you cute little girl, and then you get to Hermelinda Linda, she's completely different.
Yeah, Chachita's like this. She looks like everybody's tia. Like you all have a tia that looks like that. Or
every tia in existence.
Like that, you have like a friend of a family that looks like that. I don't know. She like. Even the clothes that Hermelinda Linda wears is like almost like grandma style clothes. And it's authentic to the comic too. Like when you look at the comic book and everything, the way she dressed, like man, they really nailed it.
They did a really good job.
The costume designer did an excellent job, and the makeup too.
I don't know who the makeup are. I don't know.
I didn't look into that.
I should have looked into it.
Yeah, me too. I fucked up right there. Yeah.
We can't do everything, guys. We can't do everything.
Whoever did, they did an amazing job. They read the comic books for sure, and we're like looking at the pages clearly.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And the fotonovelas probably too.
The cool thing, Chachita, she kind of, she was known for a lot of stuff, but I'm just gonna name a couple things that some people might have seen her in. She very minor background roles, so if you don't know who she is, you wouldn't know. But she was in an episode of Columbo, which is everyone knows Columbo. One of my favorite American comedies, Romancing the Stone.
I feel like a lot of Mexican actors were in that movie.
I think they filmed it in Mexico.
Yeah,
right?
That's why. Yeah. But then it's like it's credited, but then it's like, well, where are they?
Yeah,
it's one of those things. So she's one of those. Yeah,
she's one. I get when I was reading it, she's one. She plays like one of like the heavier set Mexican women when they're in the little pueblito, when they're at the centro.
Yeah,
I guess there's like a hefty Mexican woman that.
Yeah, that movie, and then what's the other one? I forget what the other, but there's a lot of movies like that where there's like so many Mexican actors, and it's like, what, in a minor role in a Hollywood movie?
And so I guess the second star of the movie would be Julio Aldama himself, who plays Brigidio Pachochas, and I guess he's like a slumlord and I don't know if he's like a lawyer of some type, but he's like an entrepreneur, slumlord, like business guy in this movie.
And he's a bad guy, so see, Julio Dama.
Yeah, exactly. And his son plays Nabor, who is like the young version of Julio Aldama's character, right?
Yeah, it's like basically like his son. Yeah.
There's Ruby Re, who plays Hermelinda Linda's daughter, and of course she's like the only one. She's like training to be a witch, but she doesn't look like a witch. She looks like her typical self.
It's like
gorgeous
it's like
as
the
ever.
Monsters, like Marilyn. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, they knew what they were doing. They get one hot girl in here, and she can play the.
Yeah, the name sounded familiar, so I started looking into her filmography, and I was like, yeah, she was in like Pedro Navaja and all that, but like not really big roles, but she stood out in those movies because she's so really pretty.
Yeah, oh yeah, she's absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, and then she did some fotonovelas before that, and then she retired. Like after the 80s were over, she retired.
Just fell off the face of the earth.
Yeah,
that's kind of how it goes, right? You're either a star or you're kind of a recognizable face, and then you just disappear.
Yeah. So that's kind of a shame. I was like, oh, would have been curious to see more of her, but yeah, that was it.
And then I'm just gonna mention off one more person because she actually kind of plays an integral role in this movie as well. Her name is Maria Cardinal, and she plays the young version of Hermelinda Linda.
Oh yeah.
Because we'll get into the plot and some storyline topics, but. There's a point in time in the movie where Hermelinda Linda is young and beautiful, and she plays off of Ruby Reyes' character Arlene. But she's noticeable too because she was in the Lola La Trailera movies, and those are pretty. That's a pretty big franchise.
Yeah.
Mexican movie fans would know that movie.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So let's get into it a little bit. The actual movie itself. There's a lot of good things to like about it. Like the comedy is comedic, but it's not over the top.
Yeah, it's just like slapstick, I want to say.
Yeah,
something
pretty.
like
Yeah,
that.
I mean, it's like typical Mexican comedy, I guess you could say, because it's like very witty.
Yeah.
There are the Mexican tropes. There's a gay guy character. Of course, there's always a gay guy character in a Mexican movie. That's always like the brunt of the joke.
Yeah.
Fast, witty punchlines, and of course, there's always a live band playing in the movie. So.
Oh yeah.
Reyes salió del pueblo con ilusiones de trabajar. Dejó sus tierras, vendió el arado y caló luego a la capital. Llegó el tepito, sentó sus reales, pero la feria se le acabó. Vendió sombreros, también guaraches, que hasta los dientes los empeñó. Se emborrachaba en la cantina cuando la suerte lo iluminó.
Pretty typical. If you like Mexican comedies, you'll definitely like this. But it opens up very, I don't want to say hocus pocus, and I think that's what most people would compare this to. But I don't like that's just the easy comparison.
Yeah.
But it's not a hocus pocus movie. But it opens up on, I guess their version of Halloween, but they were calling it Dia de los Brujos.
Yeah.
And there's a very great soundtrack to the opening of this. It's like a very synthesized driven soundtrack.
That was something that me and Joey pointed at each other, like, yeah, the music's great.
The music in this is fucking
like,
fantastic.
I noticed that too.
Yeah. There's multiple scenes of music in here, but the intro is like there's like kids trick or treating and they're like trying to get candy or whatever, and it's like intercut with Hermelinda Linda and her coven of witches making like a potion or whatever, but it looks like a pulque, but they're obviously making like a potion.
Yeah.
And it's like a smooth jazz soundtrack, and it's like cutting in between the neighborhoods where you see like an old guy yelling at the kids and stuff. So it definitely kind of sets the mood of like the horror aspect, if you will, of Hermelinda Linda. And the soundtrack was done by Eduardo Casanova. And I try to look up, you know, his music.
Yeah, me too. I didn't find that.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure like there's.
It might have been like a stage name, like a alternate name, maybe. I'm thinking.
I found like some random like Mexican LPs that are just kind of like comps that he was a part of.
Oh. Okay.
But I mean, there's no way to tell that if that was gonna. And I'm not gonna buy, you know, random jazz compilations of Mexico just to see if. I mean, I guess I should, but.
Only if you really want to.
Yeah, only if you really want to.
But if you want to.
And it's like there's it's like this very smooth jazz. I'll play a clip of it right now. But it's like a scene where they're all dancing in like by the fucking like the pot.
By the pot. And no, that scene is amazing. Yeah, and then they're all just dancing. Like it's just such a vibe. It's like, oh my god, this is so good. When I first watched that movie, I was like, oh, this is gonna be a great one. As soon as that scene was going on, I was like, oh, this is gonna be good.
It's for the girls that like it spooky.
Yeah, literally, this is a spooky girl movie right here. It is Summerween or whatever.
Summerween, is that a thing?
Is that what they're calling it? I forget what it's called.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
There's always something new.
So
man.
yeah, we got your Summerween movie.
The central plot of Hermelinda Linda basically is, you know, she's a witch and she basically is trying to save her community from basically being gentrified and taken over. Because I guess there's Brigidio is trying to, or they call them pachochas in the movie, so I would just go by pachochas. Pachochas is trying to basically eliminate all like the people in the neighborhood and you know, buy out the apartments and renovate, you know, gentrify the neighborhood. Yeah, basically what's going on in Mexico right now.
Yeah.
And she's there to save that basically. So she uses her witchcraft to fuck with these like the main fools to
like, scare them out basically.
Yeah. But in between there's a lot of fun stuff. So like one of the first scenes, you know, she's asked to rejuvenate an old man. And he's like, I want to look like Jorge Rivera, which for those who don't know, you know, he's a very established actor, but for the horror fans, he was the main actor in Conquest by Lucio Fulci. Yeah. So you would know him, you know, he's the main guy. He's buff as shit. He's a very suave, you know, everyone like the prototypical manly man of Mexico of the time. So I thought it was hilarious that, you know, a little meta there, you know. But yeah, so she goes to like a graveyard to, I guess she has like a pact with the graveyard guy.
Yeah, everybody in the neighborhood is just like connected to her somehow.
I mean, you know, because she's helpful. Yeah. That's why she's the savior of the town, right? Yeah. She basically has to go and get like body parts that she's going to use in her potion to rejuvenate this young man who coincidentally works for Pachochas. Mm-hmm. And so that's the connection there. And so once she, you know, gives this guy the potion, he's young, he goes to Pachochas, he's like, yeah, like, you know, look at me, like, you know, I'm going to get all the girls now. Yeah, no, so stupid.
That was Julio Guidio. Julio Dama's son. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's who Julio Dama's son plays, the rejuvenated old man.
¿Qué pasó, Apo? Don?
Oh, qué bueno que vino, Lindita. Me acaban de llegar 3 fresquecitos. ¿Qué va a llevar ahora?
Pues 20 kilos de aguayón. Necesito vulcanizar un viejo rabo verde que quiere verse chavo.
Ah, pues vamos a mi oficina.
Vamos.
¿Qué le parece de aquí?
No, no está re flaco. Este debe haber sido ejidatario.
Venga para acá. Por acá me llegaron 2 bailarines. Y estos sí traen lo que usted quiere.
Ah, caray. Estos están muy bien dados.
Ujú.
¿Y este patón?
Es un pobre cartero. Que lo atropelló un camión. Pero ahí le tengo guardados los calcetines. Ya ve que a veces le hacen falta.
Gracias, Apolinar. Necesito que me consigas unos pulmones en muy buen estado, porque tengo que hacer un trasplante a un burócrata que se la pasa fumando y leyendo cuentos.
Cuente con ello, lindita.
And so he's basically like, yeah, okay, let's fucking let's get a party going. Let's invite some girls. And Hermelinda Linda's daughter, Arlene, she gets invited by Pachochas as like his little like his side piece, his little trophy girlfriend. And of course, you know, that's when like the part. I don't remember the name of the band though. Do you remember the name of the band?
I don't remember the band. No.
Yeah, they show up at Pachocha's house with a bunch of old businessmen. Of course, she's there to service them, and he tells her, bring some friends.
Yeah.
And that's when Hermelinda Linda, she
makes
drinks her own potion, and she's young, and you know, of course, she's hot, smoking hot, but it's time. She can only be young and hot for a certain amount of time.
So yeah.
So of course, naturally, what happens is she goes to this party and she runs out of time. So she's like, "Fuck!" Like she starts getting warts and her feet starts to expand.
Her feet are getting chubby again.
So of course she has to fly home on was it a vacuum? I think
it was a vacuum.
Yeah, it was a vacuum.
Yep,
she uses a vacuum cleaner to fly home.
She uses a vacuum cleaner. She rushes home and
Oh man, yeah, it's super silly, man. Super silly. But oh yeah, I do it. Look, I wrote it down here. Flying vacuum.
Yep. Flying vacuum.
So yeah. See, I just lost my train of thought now. I'm looking at my notes writing down and I can't even remember. But oh look, I wrote it down here. The band singing at the pool party scene is Los Alcantara.
Oh, okay.
This is all coming back. I did write it down and I did look them up. And I found records of them from 1983, 1984, and 85. Oh, okay. So hopefully one of those songs is one of the songs that was in the party scene. Yeah. So there's a possibility of a Hermelinda Linda unofficial soundtrack record out there. Yeah. But yeah, there's like a scene in here where it's very like poltergeisty. There's a scene where like there's it's Nabor who, I don't remember if he like if his transformation was timed as well, but there's a scene where inside the house at the party he starts to melt. And you remember the scene in Poltergeist when looking at the mirror, like the famous scene, he starts to melt and shit. It's almost an exact copy of that, and I thought it was really fucking cool.
Yeah, that thing was really cool.
He like turns into a skull and it's all gross and shit. I don't know. It was there's horror aspects that kind of like blend in. I would say this is more of a comedy than a horror.
Yes, I was gonna say it's more of a comedy, but there's definitely a lot of horror imagery in it.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think it's like fun horror, like child-friendly horror, you can say.
Yeah, this is definitely something you can watch with like kids. And pretty much everybody in the family.
I mean, I assume this was made for kids, but
it seems like it. Yeah. The humor was pretty like light. It wasn't too inappropriate. Like, I don't even think there was anything really inappropriate in it either.
No, they saved the inappropriate jokes for part 2.
Oh, yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's the one I studied to see. Yeah.
Yes, for those wondering, Hermelinda Linda does have a sequel. Yeah. We'll talk about it in a little bit because
I didn't watch it, but Joey did. Though.
Yeah, I watched it. I was curious and I was like, well, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
But all that to say, like, towards the end of the movie, Pachochas finally figures out that Hermelinda Linda was behind all the trouble and the grief that he was facing with like the public, because there's like the public outroar where they start to turn on them, and they start like, I guess like his business people or investors whatever show up, and they're like throwing rocks at their car and shit. So he figures out that Hermelinda Linda was the one who was responsible for it all. So he decides he's gonna kidnap Arlene as bait, because he figures out that she is Hermelinda Linda's daughter. And apparently witches have telepathy, because she ends up talking like telepathically to her mom, come save me, I'm at Pachocha's office. And her powers to convert or to magically, I don't know what the word is, but change into like inanimate objects or whatever. She converts herself into a roach so she can sneak into Pachocha's office.
That's pretty smart, actually.
I mean, it's smart, but I mean, in Mexico, you see a roach and what do you fucking stomping the shit out of it, So she ran the risk of getting herself killed, but all for the name of saving her daughter, And I don't know. That shit was hilarious, but she ends up saving Arlene and saves the town, but the whole thing apparently was just a flashback, which I thought was kind of I fucking hate in movies when it turns out to just be a flashback.
Yeah, you feel almost cheated by that. I don't know. It's that feeling of you're like, man, that was what.
Yeah, like if it's a flashback or like a dream that something that never happened.
Well, the dreams, when it's a dream, it's a little like, oh man.
Yeah, but
but it all works out still. Like it's still fun and everything. You're still satisfied once you're done watching it. You're like, oh yeah, this was fun.
It's super fun, but it also like. I don't consider myself like a film reviewer or something. Like I don't like to peel back too many layers of stuff. I just like to watch movies for enjoyment. But it's pretty obvious that this movie has, underlying topics of like classism, like chauvinism, capitalism.
Exactly.
Like it deals with so many different topics in fun ways that, where I guess if you were an adult, you can watch it with your kid and be like, oh, okay, you get like a broader story, and kids can watch it and just be like, hey, this is this is fun.
Like a Pixar movie, for example. That's a lot of Pixar movies.
Yeah. There's always some kind of like emotional underlying
for the
theme or
grown-ups
whatever
to understand. Too,
but yeah, like there's like, they're abusive to the women. Pachochas hates his wife.
Yeah.
And she's just like an endearing, like, I guess she's an older woman at the time, but she's very subservient to him, and of course he takes advantage of that until the end of the movie where he's like finally, okay, I love you, babe, that type of shit. Classism, because the most of the people that are in the town are of course of darker skin,
and then lower class,
and that's still a battle that happens in Mexico to this day. The colorism in Mexico is a very very real thing. The darker skin you are in Mexico, the lower you're looked at from the upper class, like whiter skin Mexicans. So again, like these movies, while they're goofy, they're funny or whatever, there's something to actually, cut back the layers of and find a true story there, which is always fun. But, I don't know. I like I said, I don't like to be like the fucking Siskel and Ebert and shit. I know when we first started this podcast, Armando made sure like, we don't want to go too deep, but
sometimes you kind of have to.
You kind of have to sometimes. You
kind of have to. But then there's movies where you don't need to, which will be for the next one.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about it.
Yeah,
then,
we'll get into it in a moment.
Just to touch on Hermelinda Linda too. I don't even know how to describe this movie. It's
from the way you told me, I was like, oh wow, this is different.
It definitely does not have the same feel as the first one. Like very obvious that it was kind of a cash in. Like Hermelinda Linda had to have been successful, so they're like, fuck it, let's do part 2. It's the same writer director. Different. Oddly enough, though, it was a different production company that was listed for part 2. But obviously, it's the same guy. It was Producciones Aldama.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, anyways, So part 2. Not to get too deep into it, but somehow she's involved with like the FBI of Mexico. And she gets tasked to intercept a Soviet nuclear war, or bomb, I should say, rather.
Yeah.
So naturally, there's gonna be a lot of racist jokes against the Russians.
Oh, wow.
the Chinese, and somehow there's racist jokes about Arabs in this movie as well. So I know some people don't like to.
This sounds very 80s for sure.
Very 80s, and it just doesn't. I don't know. Like, it's hard. Like I said, it's hard to explain because the jokes. While I guess I can see that they're funny, they just don't land like they do in the first one. And it, it's, I would say, out of the runtime, 80% of it is just kind of racist jokes and tropes about the Chinese, Arabs, and Russians, and there's a lot of toxic masculinity again in part 2. There's even jokes about AIDS in part 2, because by that time AIDS is already like a thing, and of course, I don't want to say of course because I actually don't remember, but I think it was a joke about gay men and AIDS.
Yeah, it would make sense for the time. Like
So,
I said, it's one of those things where it's like it's a product of its time. It's not to say it's a good thing, but it's like it is what it was for that time.
Yeah,
that was the humor then. That could be said about any movie. From another country too.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But it's there's like a weird dream sequence where the mom of Hermelinda Linda, who was in the original one as well, she's back in this one.
Is she in the coffin still?
She's in the coffin
Yeah,
still.
she's
She's
always in the
pissed
coffin,
off because she can't. Same thing as part 1. I didn't talk about it, but she can't get no damn sleep, so she's mad at the world. But there's a dream sequence where she's dressed up in like full astronaut outfit,
Oh my god!
and she fucking blows up the world as an astronaut with the nuclear war bomb, I should say.
That's dark.
Yeah, so I mean, it's I don't know, it gets crazy, and then they reuse the same like a smooth jazz soundtrack as they did in the first one. So that scene where they're dancing by the
It's
fucking,
on there again?
it's the same song, yeah.
Okay.
So, worth a watch, yeah, probably. Just to complete complete the circle of Hermelinda Linda, but it's not as good as the first one, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And I mean, if it came out on the Blu-ray, I would assume it would come out as a double pack, and I would get it. But I don't know if
by itself.
Yeah, I don't know.
It'd rather be the first movie though.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And they're both on Tubi, so you guys can,
Oh yeah, that's what caught me by surprise.
yeah, people can watch them for sure. And if there's no English subtitles, unfortunately, for those who don't speak Spanish, but you can watch it and decide for yourself if Hermelinda Linda 1 or 2 is better. I would say part 1, obviously, but
yeah, I mean, I've only seen part 1, but that one is really good. And if you're into horror, comedy, 80s stuff, basically, it's one of those you have to watch for sure.
Yeah. It's super witty. Like we said, it's typical Mexican comedy, fast punchlines and kind of stupid witty jokes, and there's always dance numbers and hot girls, and I mean
it's just one of those you have to watch.
And I guess Hermelinda Linda was kind of like right before, I think is right before the boom of the video home, right? Like before everything kind of transitioned into.
Yeah, there's still a lot of discrepancies with video homes, but like I want to say the middle of 80s is when it was kind of blossoming, and then it went to the 90s where it really fucking
where it like blew up, right?
It blew up, yeah.
And so the second movie we're talking about was part of the video home boom.
Yeah, part of the video home boom. So for those who don't know what a video home is, so let me school you in really quick. So video home, the way I like to describe it is it's popular cinema. And if you don't know what popular cinema is basically films that were popular with the public. That's what the public wanted to go see. So like back in the day, people wanted to see Santa movies. That was popular cinema. Cine popular, as they say it. So it was always genre stuff mostly. So, you got your horror, action, comedies, melodramas.
The shit that sells.
The shit that sells, yeah. That was the popular cinema. Whether you can agree or disagree, because I know a lot of people are like, well, if it was popular and it wasn't good, it's like, well, even if it wasn't good, people still want to go see it.
Yeah, I mean, that argument is tired.
There's a whole stigma where it's like, well, why is it called popular if it's not a good movie? And it's like, well, maybe it was a good movie if people want to go see it.
People conflate this thing because just because it's not good doesn't mean that it's not popular. Like, I mean, it's just like there's terrible movies that make tons of fucking money because people just want to watch the shit.
That's what sells. Yeah, exactly. So popular cinema. It's like lucha stuff. All that stuff. Genre stuff. And then during the 80s, like the mid to late 80s, that's when the cinema in Mexico was just in decline, as they say. It was already a crisis, as they say. Not a lot of money was coming in anymore. People weren't really interested. So in the 90s, it's like, well, we want to keep this, a lot of these people from those eras, of, from back in the day, they wanted to still work, and keep their friends working too. So it's like, well, hey, let's just make these movies, but let's make the budget smaller. Let's get a little bit of money, not too much. We'll go to a town or something. We'll go shoot it in, I don't know, fucking somewhere near Guadalajara. Make a movie there for a week. Put it on video. And that's how it started. It's like, we're going to make these movies for the video market, because that was already like a growing market.
I mean, it'd be the same thing as like the shot on video shit here
exactly.
in the States.
Yep.
Like,
that's how it was, yeah.
Get a camera, get your friends, make a movie in a week or in a month, and just fucking put it out there and sell it to somebody.
Yeah, exactly. So they weren't shooting on 35 anymore. They were shooting in 16 millimeter. Sometimes it was just shot on Betamax tapes or whatever. And that's how it started with that. So with Caguamas Ninjas. So this is a product from 1991.
No hay problema. Son Las Caguamas Ninja.
It's such a weird year for video homes, because when you look at the filmographies for a lot of these actors that were in those movies, 91
just churning and burning.
Yeah,
these
they were
movies,
just churning left and right. It's crazy. And I was just like, okay, so if this was like low budget, where was the money coming from? It's like, all right. So I did do some digging one time, like a long time ago, and I was like, why was there so many movies coming in 91? And it turns out, I mean, without giving names or anything, let's just say, there was crime involved.
I mean, you didn't even have to say it. I already knew
it was money. Yeah, there was a lot of money laundering going on, in particular in 90 and 91. And of course, they were putting it into music, television, and films. Not the big films that you were seeing in theaters, but the films you were renting in the video stores. So,
I mean, yeah.
So, but like I said, I don't know if these people, the ones that make Caguamas Ninjas, were involved in that, but probably. I wouldn't doubt it. Because, these guys, the producers, they just popped up out of nowhere. So, Caguamas Ninjas, it was produced by a guy named Guillermo Jaime Alarid, or Francisco Guillermo Jaime Alarid. And he opened up a production company called Producciones Laser in 1989. And, yeah, he was pretty active for, like, a good while, until 2020 when he died. And then his partner, Omar A. Gonsenheim, he opened up a production company called Fiesta Films, which he then opened up his own video label called Cinemex Home Video, which was based in San Diego.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and then he's featured in the book of Robert Rodriguez's book, Rebel Without a Crew, because Robert Rodriguez, when he was selling mariachi, he was going through all the video label companies. So he was traveling from LA, San Diego, Chula Vista, whatever. And he visited Gonsenheim. And then it's funny because he's like telling them like, hey, I have this movie, and then they play the movie in their, in the company or whatever. And the company was like a store too, which was cool. So imagine
like a video store.
Yeah, he had his own video store with Cinemex, and then on the top was like the offices and shit. So it's pretty cool. So they were watching the movie, The Mariachi, the first 10 minutes at the video store, and people were there, I guess, renting shit or whatever, buying stuff, and they were just like, whoa, what's this movie? And Gonsenheim was like, well, I want to buy it, but I don't have enough money.
How do you not have enough money for that? The movie was made for like nothing.
I know. So that's when he was kind of like telling him, like, well, the business isn't doing as good as it seems. And, and he thinks, he's like, I'm just going to be straight up. The movie looks like it's too good for us, That's kind of what he was telling him in the book. So it's like, you're better off selling this to like Hollywood or something, And then that Robert Rodriguez was like, so do you even like the movies that you make? And that Gonsenheim was like, no. He just looked at him and he said no. So a lot of these guys, I mean, if they were making these, half of them weren't even like into movies. It was just a business venture. Or money laundering. I don't know about Gonsenheim, but from what I saw, Gonsenheim now, like, he's not in film anymore, but he's living pretty well off. I saw pictures where he's like in Aspen and all this other shit,
California. beautiful.
Yeah, all this like really like he's living life very comfortably, So whatever he was doing then, it's paid off now,
I mean, it's safe to say that. I mean, you can do your own research of the 90s and who were the major crime bosses. Because I don't want to say no names either, but it's pretty obvious that they were laundering their money in these type of ventures.
Oh yeah, and like I said, I've asked people before, and they're like, oh yeah, they were close friends with so and so. I was like, oh, okay.
I mean, don't ask. Don't if someone was like, here's all this money to make your stupid fucking movie.
Yeah.
Are you gonna turn it down? No, of course not.
Exactly. Yeah.
Anything to make a movie and make a quick buck.
Yeah, and then like I said, these video homes were made so fucking cheaply. It's like you can make dozens of movies a year. You don't have to make 3 movies a year. You can make like 12 movies a year.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's how Cinemex was working. Cinemex was busy when they opened in like the late 80s, and the 90s is when they were in the home video market already. And a lot of their movies are just comedies from what I've noticed. It's mostly comedies, some action stuff, some horror stuff, quote unquote.
Because comedy is cheapest to make. You don't need
to
to have explosions, car chases. You don't need makeup effects. You just need a stupid, silly joke, and that's it.
Exactly. So in case of Caguamas Ninja, I mean, they literally just shot this movie in Monterrey, Nuevo León.
And I would guess 3 days they shot
Probably,
this.
or even like a week. Yeah, so Caguamas Ninjas, so for those who don't know, Caguamas Ninjas is a parody of Ninja Turtles. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, to be exact. And, it's not what you think it is. Like, you're probably like, oh, maybe this is going to be kind of cool. It's like, no, it's pretty fucking crappy, but it's a good crappy.
I thought it was hilarious because for those who don't know what a kawama is,
it's a slang for like a turtle, and then the beer too, the big kawama, the 32-ounce beer.
Yeah, because the big beers are shaped like the body of a turtle.
The body of a turtle, and it's big and it's affordable. I've seen dudes in Mexico that I know drink like 10 of them, and it's like, fuck.
I mean, listen, I don't drink anymore, but when I was a teenager in Mexico, I mean, it was either you go get caguamas or you go get a bottle of tequila and you're getting fucked up.
Yeah, it was one of those things. It's like, yeah, you're gonna get a caguama. And I've seen dudes drink a bunch. It still trips me out when I seen dudes just drinking a bunch, and it's like, how?
I mean,
how does the body consume all of that?
It's just something that people do,
Yeah, so that's what they're based on. So Caguamas Ninjas, and then these guys, they're not teenagers, they're older fat guys. To be exact, they're comedic actors. They're legendary comedy actors, actually. So you got Pedro Weber, Chatunuga, Guillermo Rivas, El Borras, and then Gaston Padilla. And then the other guy wasn't a comedy actor, but he was actually kind of a popular actor during the 80s. Leo, what was it? Where's his name? Ernesto Yanez. Yeah, Ernesto Yanez. And then the other people in the movie, like, they were also in very popular movies back in the day. You got Felicia Mercado, this beautiful blonde bombshell. She's in this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles parody.
Mm-hmm.
You got Ernesto Gomez Cruz, who was in like a bunch of famous movies in the 80s too. And then Leonelita Ochoa, another one again. And then you're probably thinking, why were these like actors, these famous actors, in this cheap ass movie? And again, it's like, well, this is a perfect example of the video home market. You're going to make a low budget movie, you're going to hire whoever wants to work, And the work back then was not a lot. So it's like, if they were done with one big thing, they had to do a bunch of little stuff in between.
I mean,
Like Felicia Mercado, she was in plenty of novellas back then. And then it's like, okay, novellas are over. She's not getting cast. It's like, well, what? She needs to work. She needs to, pay her bills. Fuck it, I'm going to have to star in this fucking comedy about Ninja Turtles. So you're always going to see big names in these like really shitty movies, or like good but shitty movies, In other words.
My thing with this is that I'm not big into comedy, so when it's like a low budget comedy, I'm just like, my god. So this was a tough watch for me. This is like, those like shitty like 90s like below National Lampoon type movies, like the bootleg National Lampoons. This is even worse than those movies. So
this is not a good one. I didn't say, I'm not gonna say I hated it, but I didn't say it was a good movie either.
I mean, we'll talk about it once we get into like the plot and break it down. But
so let me break it down. I actually I'm gonna read it off from my old review.
No. I mean, before you start, I just wanted to ask, because I don't know. This is my assumption. I don't know if this is true or if you did any research on this, but I have to assume that Carta Blanca was somehow a producer in this movie as well. Like they had to have been chipping off.
I mean, they were filming in Monterrey, and then the brewery's there.
I mean, this whole story is just Carta. There's a Carta Blanca in every fucking scene of this movie.
Yeah, I mean, it's Carta Blanca is one of the one of the beers sold there, and then brewed there too, which is let's see,
they're like the Natty Ice of American beer for Mexico.
Yeah.
Like it's such a low tiered beer, like the proletariat beer, you know, like the working man's beer.
Yeah. So let me see. I lost my notes. Hold on. Yeah. So of course, being in Monterrey, the beer there is Carta Blanca, and then it's part of the Cervecería Cuauhtémoc Moctezuma, which is a major brewery in Monterrey. So of course, that's why
Yeah.
I'm sure they probably asked the people there too. Like, hey, can we use the beer for the movie? Of course. And then throughout the whole movie, you're gonna see nothing but Carta Blanca.
This is not an exaggeration. If there's not an actual Carta Blanca in the scene, they're talking about Carta Blanca. There's every fucking scene possible.
Exactly.
There's something about Carta Blanca.
Yeah. So let me break it down. So in Las Caguamas Ninjas, 3 old fat dudes, Pedro Weber Chatanuga, Guillermo Rivas, Ernesto Yañez, dress up like Ninja Turtles to defend their beloved Carta Blanca beer. They also happen to work at the Carta Blanca brewery. Naturally, some local gangsters decide to take over the beer market in town by selling imported beer instead of the domestic stuff. Thus, they force the local shopkeepers to sell the imported beer only. Some business owners then start selling the imported beer, and that's a big no-no for the Caguamas Ninjas and their short brewery boss, who's played by Gaston Padilla. They must save Mexican beer before it is taken over by the lame imported beer. So, yeah, in the movie, they're like, any other beer that's not Carta Blanca is crap.
Y ahora, vamos a planear. ¡A planear el negocio que tenemos pendiente, caramba! Nos pasamos horas y horas y horas y horas discutiendo puras estupideces. Tenemos que invadir el mercado de puro producto de importación.
Pero chipetiza, si ya está permitido los productos de importación, ¿por qué vos no estás enterada?
Ya lo sé, pero tenemos que inundar los mercados de nuestros productos de importación. Mira, si ustedes ven unas cervezas del país, inmediatamente hay que cambiarlas por unas cervezas de importación. ¿Más claro lo querés?
There's very what's the word I'm looking for? Like when the little mafia thugs that try to, impose this thing. There's very like anti what's the word I'm looking for? They're very I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say.
I mean, the only thing I could say is, these guys are super anti-Mexican beer. They're just like, we're going to sell American beer. We're not going to sell Carta Blanca. You're going to sell this stuff that we got. Because I guess, I'm assuming, I mean, they don't really say, but I think I'm assuming is that they got like a bunch of beer from, America. So it's like, okay, well, now we got to get rid of it. How are we going to get rid of it? We can't just sell it ourselves. So that's when they start threatening these shops, and they're like, hey, you're going to start selling this or else,
There's I'm gonna be the devil's advocate here. I know I just said I don't like to peel back layers and get really deep into this movie, but it made me think, like, was there some kind of like nationalistic like thing happening in Mexico at the time where people were preferring imported items over Mexican made items consumption in Mexico?
I think you got something there going.
Because there's like the entire movie. This is how crazy it is. The group of thugs that want to impose this ban on Mexican products are Argentinians.
That was another thing.
But they're importing American goods.
Yeah.
And the whole movie is just, there's a lot of anti-Argentine jokes.
It's super weird.
Very racist against Argentines.
Yeah,
like,
it is, yeah.
So I don't know. It's just super confusing.
No, yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, the movie should, but there's probably something going there, yeah. Which is obvious, too, in a way. But,
I mean, it was the only way I can get through this movie was to try to find a deeper meaning in it. And I'm sure I dug way too deep to try to find a meaning.
That's an interesting thing. No, that is good, though. See, that's the thing. Because, like I said, I mean, it's kind of going with Hermelinda Linda, where it's like, there's something going on there between, other than just the horror comedy aspect. It's like, there's something deep going here. And in Caguamas Ninjas, there's something kind of deep going, too. It's like, hey, we got someone trying to like take away our products and sell shit that's probably not as good, you know. When they know we make the best shit, you know, like Mexican beer is always like seen as the best beer.
Yeah. It definitely touches like globalization, capitalism, consumerism.
Yeah.
And again, I mean, look,
no, but
it was the only way I can get through this movie was to try to find something there because I was struggling, man. I was struggling.
And these Ninja Turtles, you know, these Caguamas Ninjas, they're very serious about it. They're like, no, you know, we can't. We're not going to allow this. You know, that's stripping off our culture, basically. Taking away our jobs, you know, because they work at the brewery, so they're like, oh hell no, you know. So then, of course, you see them. They put on the little headband, and then the top part is green.
Yeah.
And then, God, the costumes are so stupid.
They're worse than like the worst Party City costume that you
they obviously
imagine.
got like some cheap like Ninja Turtle mask to cover their head, and then they're wearing like these shirts. Remember the shirts? It's like it says Cheers beers or something.
Yep.
It's so weird. Yeah. And they don't know how to do karate, so they're just like, oh, wow. You know, like super, like, you know, just ignorant comedy, like, quote unquote comedy, like, you know, making kung fu noises.
There's even, you know how, like, Ninja Turtles love pizza? Well, these fools love chile.
Oh.
That powers them.
Actually, I forgot about that, yeah. Yeah, that's right. The chile.
They're like, we'll fight crime, but are you going to give us chile? And they're like, yeah, all right. This is such a weird fucking movie.
Yeah, the movie's just a mess.
Chiquitimón, hay que animar a los muchachos. Van perdiendo 2-1. Hay que echarles una porra.
No, las porras ya no bastan. Necesitamos de su fuerza guerrera. ¿Dónde están esas caguamas? A ver.
Bueno, sí, pero ahorita no venimos uniformados, perdóname. Además no traemos chiles. Ah, miren, nuestra salvación allí en el quitapón. Ah, aquí está el pasillo.
Muchachos, los necesito.
Nosotros también necesitamos urgentemente.
Pero es que lo mío es más importante.
No, más importante lo nuestro. Saca los chiles.
¿Está bien?
Si tú llamado en China,
Nuestra porrista.
Ah, es que la queremos, pero bien, hombre.
Todo el mundo la quiere, si no la va a querer. Bueno, ya ganamos, ¿no? Ya ganamos, ¿verdad? Bueno, pues ahora van a necesitar 3 veces más chile del que acaban de comer.
Ah, no importa. Venga de ahí, ¿qué onda?
Bueno, vamos a nuestras oficinas.
Momento. Hoy es domingo, hoy no se trabaja.
Los Caguamas Ninja siempre trabajan.
So yes, of course, you know, so they're right there trying to fight off these mobsters or making sure that, you know, these stores are stocked with Carta Blanca beer. There's like a scene where they're dressed up and they're like bringing the cases in the truck. Yeah. It's just so, wow, yeah, it's just weird.
There's even a Carta Blanca sponsored soccer team.
Oh yeah, and then
like,
there's fuck? Everything is just Carta Blanca in the movie. Very much product placement, obviously.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a mess. The movie's just, it's not funny. Like, it tries to be funny, and then some parts that are funny, it's just not meant to be funny.
I think the only part that I genuinely laughed at was there's a scene where they get fed, like, I don't know if they're like tainted. Maybe they were imported chiles because they ate these chiles and they start tripping out and start like fighting each other and shit.
Oh, I think I remember that.
they're at a park or something. I don't know. I was like,
the
what
movie's
the
just,
fuck is going on
the
here?
movie's just so bizarre. It's not funny. And if it is funny, like, I did laugh, but it was just at parts that were not meant to be funny. Like, the movie's just bad. But it's one of those rare occurrences where I'm going to say it's a so bad, so good movie, I guess. I don't know. I hate saying that. I fucking hate that. I hate that too, but that's the only way I could, like, I guess, you know, redeem this movie. It's like, it's a shitty movie, but it's funny too. It's like, it's fun, you know? Like, I didn't have a bad time watching it, honestly. Me personally, at least.
It's not that I had a bad time watching it. It's just I'm so bad with comedy is my least favorite genre of movie because I just don't find a lot of the jokes funny.
Yeah.
So
like
a super low budget comedy.
I can understand. This is like dumb. Yeah, but it's I don't know. Just I guess it's just up to the viewer. You know, it's like you're either gonna hate it, you're gonna maybe kind of like it, or you're gonna just think it's dumb, but it's fun. You know, and me, it's like it's dumb, but it's fun. You know.
Well, I mean, look, I'm not to shit on anyone because there is a large population of movie watchers that love like low budget comedies. low budget movies in general that I think would enjoy this if they understood Spanish. Because you'd be hard. I wouldn't even. I'm not even gonna guess that there's an English subtitle for this available anywhere.
I don't even know if I would want to personally. I'd probably be like, nah.
It would take too long for me to do subtitles for this movie to make it worth it.
Exactly.
But I don't know. It's I mean, look, they had to have taken it a little serious because there's 2 original Caguama Ninja songs in this movie.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Like in the opening scene, they're driving around. That's another thing. We didn't even mention that. They have like their own little like mini car that looks like a turtle.
Oh yeah,
and they drive around the town and they're bumping this fucking Las Caguamas Ninjas song.
Yeah.
You know, like it's
a silly scene too. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the whole movie's just bizarre. There's quirks in it. I don't know. Yeah.
The whole movie, like
it's a trip. It's a whole trip. Yeah.
They're like I said a little bit ago, like the whole movie is like anti-Argentina. So there's a lot of racist jokes about Argentina, like about how they speak primarily.
Yeah.
Like they keep getting the Q and the K wrong. They keep getting the Y and the double L's wrong. Like, oh my God, it was just
a weird one for sure.
And then it's like in the end, like the amarettos, that was the mob that was, you know, strong arming everybody, but Petiza was the leader of them. And towards the end, she's like, yeah, you know what, fuck it, let me get a carta blanca anyways. And then like her group was like, what the fuck, you're drinking a carta blanca? And she's like, well, I mean, it's good, but business is business.
Yeah.
I don't want to sell this shit. I'm going to sell American products.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like, there's like...
Yeah, it's just a weird thing. And then remember the ending at the wedding?
That's another... What the fuck was that? So there's a scene where where the amarettos kidnap one of the caguamas, like the latest... Because there's 3 originals and then they add a fourth one.
Which is Gaston Padilla, yeah.
And so they kidnap that fool. And she fucking falls in love with the fool. And she gets married with him.
Yeah,
and then she
like
has like a change of heart.
Yeah, there's like a double wedding at the end. And
then we didn't even mention their names, right?
Oh, yeah.
Hold on, let me go back because the 3 originals, so like Leonardo, Rafael, right? So they have their own names. There's Caguamon, who's Pedro Weber, who's the main Caguama ninja. There's just Caguama straight up, who's like the second sidekick. Mm-hmm. And then there's Caguamo. So they don't even get original with the names, you know?
They're just like, wow, what do we call them? That's probably what was going on when they're writing the script. They're like, shit, what do we call them? Just put Caguama. That's another video home example. It's like they were always writing the script during the day of the shooting.
I mean,
so more than like that's what was going on. They're like just changing shit, adding jokes.
But yeah, I mean, at the end, like you said, there's a double wedding with Caguamon getting married to, of course, an absolute bombshell.
Oh yeah,
and
turns out he was cheating all this time.
It turns out he was cheating because the final scene of the movie,
his turtle wife, turtle kids, they're dressed up in like Ninja Turtle outfits. I was like, oh my god, yeah, dude. It was just like, what? Like, yeah, I'm telling you, it's just. It's a weird one.
This is a very wacky Z-grade comedy out of Mexico.
Yeah.
That I don't know how many people outside of Mexicans would enjoy, but I mean, it's on YouTube for anyone that wants to watch it.
Yeah, I also put it in the notes too, in our show notes. You'll see a download link, so if you want to watch it. You know.
Oh shit! You're giving out a free download.
I know, right? Isn't that weird?
What is happening here?
I don't know. I was just bored. I was like, when I was writing the notes, I was like, all right, what do I add here? I was like, here, just. I still have the link for Joey. He's like, I might as well just share it.
Hey, so there it is.
If it works, it works. If it doesn't work, don't even bug me.
I see.
It'll work for a while, I'm sure. But sometimes these Dropbox links don't work for a while. So you have to like change it. I don't know.
So
there
it
stops
is.
working. It stops working.
It'll be in the show notes where you can watch this movie.
That YouTube
or
one
YouTube.
The YouTube one's really bad though. It's like the quality is really dark.
The YouTube version is real shitty. The audio sucks, and I'm sure you can't find a good audio for this anyways. But
yeah, that was another thing too. It's like when they're making these video homes back in the day, they were just using these cheap ass microphones, cheap equipment.
Just get the movie done type shit.
Yeah,
basically.
Exactly. That was the business. That was the business model. Then it's like, all right, guys, we have a week. We have this certain amount of money. Let's just do it. Hey, this thing didn't come out good. Fuck it. Just cut it. Hey, what's going on with this script? I don't think we're gonna be able to do this. All right, here, we'll just rewrite it. So, like I said, this is a perfect example of a video home. It's just a movie that they made on the fly, obviously. Doesn't make any sense, but hey, they gotta make money, you know? It's like, hey, we're gonna make a Ninja Turtle movie. It'll sell. Kids are loving this shit right now.
I mean, it's like the perfect way to spoof the Ninja Turtles, because like the Kawama is the turtle,
Yeah.
and it's a fucking beer. I mean, so you get the best of both worlds. You can mash the two together, and you have ninja turtles that are fighting crime against beer importers
From Argentina.
And again, you know, this is like the only way I can get through this was try to find like the subplot or the sub meanings of everything.
And then of course, you know, with the way they sell these video homes was the cover art. So when you look at the cover art, it's just like a drawing of the turtles.
I gotta say the cover art is pretty sick.
And then
though.
they just plastered pictures of the guys as actors on there. So that's not even their real bodies, but they try to make them look like turtles too. I think too. That's another thing. Or maybe they just drew them way too fat. I don't know. But either way, it's a cool cover though.
I don't know.
It'll catch your eyes. That was another way they sold these movies. It's like, all right, we're gonna make a movie. It's like, it's kind of shitty. Well, we better make the cover look good. So better draw something fucking good, you know.
You know, I don't want to be the one that tells anyone to not watch a movie, because there's always gonna be someone that likes this shit. So
yeah.
if you want to watch it, watch it.
Yeah, I'm sure someone's gonna be like, "Well, this was actually really good." It's like, oh, all right, lie to yourself. But
yeah, we'll see how long it takes to get a 5-star review on Letterboxd for this thing.
Yeah, even I didn't really like. In my old review, I mean, I'll probably post it later on. But yeah, even I said it's not a good movie. It's just funny, but it's not funny in like the way it's trying to be. It's just a really stupid movie.
I feel like this is one of those movies where you're laughing at it, not with it.
Exactly. Yeah, you're just
because there's just so many stupid things happening. It's just it's not for me, but maybe it's for somebody. I don't know.
It's stupid, it's strange, but it's there, you know. And I hope Gonsenheim and all La Creed and all those other guys, I hope they made their money, you know. Hopefully they paid.
Are any of these guys still around?
So La Creed, he's dead already. Gonsenheim, like I said, he's still alive, living comfortably,
living in San Diego.
And yeah, a lot of these actors they're all gone already.
Yeah, I know. Like
only
the
Felicia Mercado's still alive. I know that she's still alive. But yeah, like the comedy actors, like the Turtles, they're all gone already. They're long gone.
Oh yeah, I mean they were older
they're
in age already by this
exactly.
time. Yeah.
But yeah, they're all gone already. But yeah, hopefully, like I said, they all got paid, and I'm sure they did. Like I said, because that was the only reason why they would do these movies. It's like, hey, we need the work. Hey, none of these novellas are hiring us. Hey, but this guy in this small town is making a movie.
Fuck it, let's go. How many pesos are you paying? Fuck it, let's do it.
So yeah, this is an example. Like I said, they were not doing it because they believed in the movie. They just needed money. That's all it was. They needed the work.
Well, I mean, there it is, guys. You had two strange comedies for the summer. I think these are good summer movies, actually.
Yeah, especially if you're just chilling at home. It's like, hey, Hermelinda Linda, you know, if you're on Tubi, and I know a lot of people watch stuff on Tubi, put it on Tubi.
Yeah.
And then Caguamas Ninjas, hey, you know, if you want to put it on YouTube, put it on YouTube. Or
if you're lucky enough to have a live download link on the show notes.
Yeah, if you got the download link, download it or just watch it on Dropbox on the website. Yeah, just chill, you know. Grab a Kawama if you want.
I don't drink anymore, but if I still was drinking, I probably would have to drink a Kawama just
thought
to
of
watch
it. It's just
shit.
like, I'm not doing that. Like, I don't even really drink either, but I'm just saying, no, I can't.
Well, there it is, guys.
Strange summer, strange movies, a witch, turtles, good times. I don't know. But yeah, that was fun.
We're gonna move on next month to something a little bit more serious, more dramatic titles that I think are relevant to what's happening in LA today. Again, I think moving forward, I think we've found how we're gonna
the formula.
Yeah, the formula of what to do. So we're obviously new to this, so. You know, after listening to other people's podcasts, shout out to all the homies that have been doing podcasts for so long.
Yeah, like Unsung Horrors was honestly probably the reason why I wanted to. Just after listening to it for a little while already, it's like, you know what, I kind of want to get on this shit too.
Yeah,
let me think about Joey's offer. Shout out to Unsung Horrors, and they're also listeners too. Erica, Lance, they shout us out a lot, so it's always awesome to hear that.
And so I think moving forward, the episodes will be more aligned to a different format. But I think people are going to enjoy it. The topics are still going to stay the same. You know, I did have a couple people reach out about some of the playlists that we've made on Spotify. You know, that kind of correlate to the more music related episodes that we've done. So moving forward, you know, we're going to have Spotify playlists and we're going to have Apple playlists, because I know there's, you know, a couple people that said they would listen, but they don't have Spotify. So we'll, you know, those playlists will be available on Apple. Oh, once you hear this, it'll be available, so you can follow that.
Which reminds me, what was the most downloaded episode again?
Oh my
Which
god,
has to do with music,
crazy.
which is funny because it has to do with music.
The episode we did about Los Bukis and Los
That one
Temerarios.
had the most downloads.
Who would have fucking thought?
I know, that one was just like a random one that you had an idea, remember? And I was like, yeah, let's do it.
I proposed it as a joke, and it became it. I mean, it gets at least 5 downloads every day.
Yeah, and then, you know, we just went, we hung out with Jaime, we recorded, and then, now all of a sudden it's like probably the popular episode, I would say.
I mean, maybe we gotta, you know, focus on the music related Trash-Mex shit. That's what people want more.
We have a music one coming up too, right? I think.
I mean, I've already, you know, I gotta add it to the note, the collaborative note that we have. But yeah, I want to do more music stuff. I think December would be a good month for the next music episode.
Yeah.
Just because of who it is. But yeah, I mean, there's a couple other groups that, you know, were very prolific in Mexican movies that you know, we're obviously going to talk about those. So, you know, don't forget to rate and subscribe and review the show.
Yeah, give us a review, rate us, give us stars, whether it's 4 or 5, whatever, 3
or 1 if you want to. You know, if you hate us, you know.
I know I got some haters, but the haters that I get are weird. They just message me on Instagram, and it's like a weird message. I'm like, what?
I'm so thankful that people don't know who I am, you know?
Yeah, dude, it's weird. Or on Letterboxd, they'll comment. I'll be like, okay, like, am I supposed to get, like, offended? And I'm just like, I'm 30. I'm almost 35. I don't care.
People are just strange, you know. You know, people want like immediate access to stuff. They want you to give them downloads. I mean, that's fair, you know. Asking is one thing,
or they're
but
just like jealous, and it's like it's weird. It's like, why are you jealous of someone you don't know?
I saw one. I mean, not to go on a tangent at the end of the show, but I saw one when we did. I forgot which episode it was. It was the episode we did with. Oh God, I can't remember his name now. What the hell? I feel so bad. The episode we did with on Jesus Christ, what the fuck?
Which one?
When we guested on
Adolfo?
No, not Adolfo. Elias's show. God damn, I'm sorry, Elias.
Oh, Elias.
Yeah, Elias. Shout out. Sorry, I forgot. I'm sorry, I forgot your name, but we did an episode with Elias, and there was
that one guy,
the one guy was commenting like, yeah, this guy's not a fucking.
He just shows off.
Yeah, he just shows off his collection. Like, he doesn't represent. I'm like, Jesus Christ, guy, like relax. Like it's not that fucking serious.
It's not that serious. Yeah, like that's the thing. So, like I said, if you're gonna be weird like that, like I said, just know that I don't care. No me importa. Yo no te conozco. No me importa.
Me vale pura verga.
Me pura verga, and yeah, you know, keep watching. And then if you're following, I mean, that's all on you. You don't have to.
Those are like the weird ones. They follow you, they watch everything, they hate on you still. You know, you can't please everybody.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard enough to you know, find these movies. So have some patience or have some humility when Armando says he cannot upload a movie for you.
Hey, cool, you know, but that's just not my formula. Yeah.
But it's, you know, it's also like, it shit takes time to fucking rip these movies and put them up and to give them out for free.
Las Caguamas, yeah, that took me a while actually, because I thought I had an old rip that I had, but I lost it. So I was like, oh man, I have to watch it, put it on the disc.
Yeah, you know, people fucking, you know, people think it's so easy to put these shits out.
Like I'm not at home all day. Like I wish I was home all day, but you know, half the time I'm at work. I'm fucking tired.
Well, that's the thing too. A lot of these fools are like these fucking film bro nerds that just fucking pretend to watch 10 movies a day. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, you know, they probably don't do anything with their lives, but that's another story. But anyway, so like I said, strange people, strange summer, strange movies.
Strange movies, strange comedy.
Thank you guys again. And then for those that are always supportive, I'm very, 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 very much appreciated. If I don't like show it enough, I apologize, I guess. But also at the same time, just know that I never overlook anything. Like, I do appreciate everything you guys say. And if you're responding to me or if I'm messaging you back, just know I do appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't talk to too many people myself, but it's nice to see that people are responding well, and I'm sure you get tons of messages. I don't really get many.
Yeah,
but
you guys need to start messaging Joey, because sometimes I get an overflow of messages. I'm like, I'll respond tomorrow. Which reminds me, I have an email I need to show Joey later, but not right now.
Yeah, we'll look at it once we're done recording here. But shout out to everyone who listens. We definitely appreciate it. And people have left 5-star reviews and stuff, but please subscribe, tell everybody.
Yeah, spread the word.
The mission here is to keep spreading Mexican movies, hopefully movies that you've never heard of or that you haven't seen. And hopefully people are enjoying it. I think they are enjoying it, and I know I'm having fun watching a lot of these movies. Some of them I haven't even heard of, some of them, but
like I think you're gonna really like the one we talk about next, which is what, Vagón de la Muerte, right? One of them.
One of them is Vagón de la Muerte.
You're gonna be like, oh shit.
So
I'm excited for you to watch that one, because that's a really good one.
I'm excited. You talked that one up like crazy a couple months ago, or like probably a year ago now. But
and like I said too, like when I was talking to all those Diaz at the Juan Valentin show, Vagón de la Muerte was the main movie they were telling me about. I was like, damn, that's a movie that people like.
I mean, and hopefully people tune in. So
so that'll be on the next one.
That'll be the next one, and if you can look that up, preemptively right now and pretty much guess what the topic is going to be. It'll be more serious. So, again, thanks.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Rate, review, subscribe, all of it, and hit us up on email, on Instagram. Armando's on Twitter, I think, or Blue Sky, or whatever the fuck it is.
Twitter, man, it's just getting hard now. Twitter,
I know.
Now I could see why like other people are like completely
jumping ship.
Yeah. Like fuck this.
If you're on Letterboxd, follow the list that we put up. It's
Joey has the list on there with all the movies that we're covering.
I add them as the shows come out. Not to spoil the next month's episodes and what we're talking about. So follow along, like it, share it, watch, tell us what you think of all the movies. That's the one thing, we want to have a dialogue too. So if you're watching it, let us know, man. Tell us what you think. If we're doing shitty jobs talking about it, or if you like the movie, hated the movie, just hit us up. Let's start a dialogue, man. Mexican movies need to have more discussion,
Yeah, not just the same ones either.
Yeah, not all the Jodorowskis and Alucarda. I saw you got some hate on your list about why you didn't add Alucarda, but
it's funny because I was already making fun of that before that was gonna happen, and sure enough,
that
was the funny part. Even after, it was like, all right, it did happen. See, I was right.
Yeah, I know.
It was funny, but it's whatever. Yeah. It's cool. And Vacaciones de Terror is the best horror movie. Okay.
Of all time, yeah. Best.
I'll argue about that during October for something. I'll let y'all know.
Oh, you know what? I did want to plug, because I know you had asked me, about writing stuff too for the site.
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna plug this. It's been a while. I wanted to publish this article that I wrote for the Trash-Mex website. For the summer, and so maybe it'll be live by the time the show goes up. If not, we'll post it. But I did write something about, because I'm a collector of soundtracks and library music, as some of you guys may or may not know. But I wrote a little article about library music in Mexican movies, and covered specifically one record that has been used in many different Mexican movies. So I think people will get a kick out of it. Hopefully you guys will read it when I post that. And obviously we'll let you know when that goes live.
Trashmexpodcast.com. I know a lot of people are still like, hey, where's the old review for this? Like, don't worry, guys. It's going to come. I've been pumping that shit hard, but it's a long process. I thought it was going to be like an easy process, but it's been harder than I thought. But the website will be complete by the time, like, I don't know, in the coming month or so, for sure. And then everything, all the new stuff that I have already lined up.
There it is. So keep an eye on the website as well, guys.
Trashmix.com. Joey's stuff will be there, of course.
And hopefully I'll start writing more. I plan to write more too.
Yeah.
But
for sure.
Yeah, we'll get it there. So thanks again, everyone, for listening. Sorry for rambling for the last 10, 15 minutes, but it is what it is, right? Here's a little clip of what's gonna happen for next month's episode. Peace.
Próximamente estrenaremos.
Este es el río Bravo, frontera natural entre México y los Estados Unidos. Ahora es aquí, en una extensión de 2.986 kilómetros, donde la gran alucinación ejerce su funesta influencia. Aquí, donde millones de mexicanos, con razón o sin ella, renegando de la tierra que los vio nacer, son atraídos también por la fábula del dólar. Aquí, donde tiene lugar quizá el drama más intenso de nuestros tiempos. Avalanchas humanas procedentes de todo el mundo, de todas las razas y credos, se lanzaron desde entonces a la conquista de la tierra de promisión.